Good morning, everyone. I'm George, Digital Consultant at Digital CDL, and I welcome you to this fourth lesson of the course. To conceptualize and structure an organization, it's not only essential to grasp the relevant domains and variables, but also to discern the principles and rationale essential for determining the most optimal arrangement of these variables. Initially, what is the intended purpose of organizational design? The central concept is organizational effectiveness, defined as the organization's capability to attain its goals sustainably over time. To evaluate organizational effectiveness, one typically refers to the company's performance, considering both external indicators, such as economic financial performance, and internal ones, such as the speed of decision-making, the capacity for organizational learning, employee satisfaction, and motivation. To attain organizational effectiveness, the organizational model needs to exhibit coherence. The principle of coherence, or alignment, foundational to organizational choices, primarily denotes the internal harmony amongst various variables and, secondly, refers to external coherence, meaning the alignment between organizational variables and the context, adhering to the principle of contingency. Let's delve deeper into these two aspects. The model's core star epitomizes internal alignment in the depicted figure. Internal alignment alludes to the imperative that an organization's diverse design choices should align, implying, for instance, structural decisions should synchronize with processes, human resource management, and the like. Hence, the configuration of one variable mandates the aligned configuration of others. Consider a firm in a volatile market undergoing ceaseless alterations, necessitating organizational agility to promptly adapt. Such an entity requires a structure with minimal hierarchical layers and elevated decision-making decentralization. What other organizational variables align with such a structure? Predominantly, roles necessitating high autonomy should be conceived. Next, emphasis should be placed on processes to ensure swift market responses. Additionally, human resource strategies must equip individuals with essential knowledge and skills for autonomous functioning and results-based incentives. Leadership styles and decision-making designs must also facilitate autonomy and individual contributions. In essence, organizational decisions must uphold elevated internal alignment and should be viewed as mutually reinforcing and interlinked, shaping an organizational model. This is paramount during organizational transformations, which are occasionally and mistakenly fixated on isolated elements, rendering the alterations ineffective due to a non-systemic perspective focusing solely on macrostructures or individual processes. External alignment, represented by the outer circle in the depicted framework, posits that organizational design should harmonize primarily with corporate strategy and subsequently with all pertinent internal and external contextual elements. This concept originates from the contingency theory of organizations, stipulating no superior organizational models in absolute terms, but endorsing models aligning with specific contexts. Hence, a model effective in a stable market may falter in a volatile one, and a small firm's organization would differ from a multinational corporation's. The contingency theory delineates relevant variables to assess alignment between organizational models and their contexts. Specifically, 4 contextual variable categories are noteworthy. Environmental factors encompass the external socio-economic, industrial, and market contexts. Technological factors pertain to utilized industrial, IT, or communication technologies. Strategic factors reflect the organization's strategic decisions, and biographical factors relate to the organization's size, age, and life cycle stage. In sum, internal and external alignments are crucial, with the former emphasizing the cohesiveness among various organizational choices, and the latter focusing on congruity with the organization's strategic intents and contextual elements, both derived from the overarching contingency theory advocating context-specific organizational models. The notion of alignment among organizational variables inherently includes the idea of organizational modification. Specifically, when a discrepancy or an incongruity arises amongst the organization's internal components or between these elements and the context, the organization loses its efficacy, necessitating a reconfiguration. When does reconfiguration typically occur within organizations? One illustrative scenario is during periods of growth. The organization initially established becomes inadequate in supporting the augmented operational scale as a company enlarges. Another instance is when an organization introduces a new product or penetrates a new market, entailing an expansion of activities and, occasionally, immersion into different contexts, necessitating a comprehensive reassessment of the prevailing organizational paradigm. A strategic shift also triggers a revaluation of organizational structure. Indications of the requisite for organizational modification are discernible through performance disruptions stemming from organizational contextual incongruities. Organizational adjustments entail intricate dynamics at both individual and organizational echelons, associated with inherent human resistances and impediments to transformation that necessitate adept understanding and administration to ascertain the triumph of the transformation process. The term change management pertains to the ensemble of managerial practices focusing on people and organizational readiness for transformation, aiding, expediting, and ensuring post-transformation organizational equanimity. Addressing change management involves several core considerations. Initially, an exploration of change obstructions. Subsequently, the procedures and practices essential for managing transformation. Thirdly, the utilization of knowledge as a pivotal change facilitator within organizations. And ultimately, the exploration of diverse transformative approaches and their distinct characteristics. The endeavor is to assimilate, implement, and harmonize changes to align the organization with its renewed objectives and contextual demands, considering human propensities and organizational dynamics. Thanks for watching. See you next week for Lesson 5.